So there's one new vocabulary word, and so if you'll write this on that first page where you've written dividing with fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, we're gonna add this one word. Reciprocals. Okay, reciprocals.
Where do we
Okay,
write that?
I just said that. Okay, I just said, we've just written on the top of the page, dividing with fractions and mixed numbers, and this is a new vocabulary word that you're writing on that page.
Are you gonna add it to the wall?
It's already there.
Oh.
All right, so reciprocals are simply this. So 3/7, its reciprocal is 7/3. So it's just a fraction, and when a fraction's flipped, that's its reciprocal. So these two things are reciprocals. Okay? So what would be the reciprocal of 2/5? The reciprocal of 2/5. Hunter.
5 seconds.
Yes, 5 seconds. Okay, what would be the reciprocal of 1/2? A little bit tricky. 1/2. Sarah Grace?
2 wholes or?
Yeah, 2. 2/1, which is really just 2, right? Now, based on that, what would be the reciprocal of 7? Just the whole number 7, what would be its reciprocal, Brock?
7 halves. I mean, sorry, like 7 with a 1 under it.
That's what 7 is. I want its reciprocal.
Oh, 1/7.
1/7. Okay, so any whole number is reciprocal. So any whole number is like 10, so its reciprocal will be 1/10. Okay, so that's the only word you need to know that's new that goes with dividing fractions. Okay, now there's a really good kind of rap song thing that's going to help you remember what to do when you are dividing with fractions. And so that's what we're gonna watch really quick right here.
In 3rd grade, we would watch about how to count, like by football.
Okay, so this, like I said, is going to be something that's going to help you remember how to divide with fractions. Hold on. Okay, I just explained this. I just explained that this is a rap / song that's going to help you remember how to divide with fractions. I just explained it. And now we're gonna watch it. Okay. Alright, hold on. Okay.
To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. To divide 1/2 by 1/6. Keep, change, flip. 1 times 6 is 6 and 2 times 1 is 2. It's an improper fraction, so we're not through. Divide 6 by 2 and the quotient is 3. Keep, change, flip. It's all that you need to divide by a fraction. Here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. To divide 2/5 by 1/5. Keep, change, flip. 2 times 5 is 10, 5 times 1 is 5. It's an improper fraction, so you need to divide. 10 divided by 5 equals 2. When we divide by fractions, this is what we do. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. To divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip may seem to work magically, but it can be explained mathematically. With the number 10, we can divide by 2, and that will leave 5 in each group. Or we can find that 5 through a different path by multiplying 10 by 2 flip to 1/2. It's the trick that never fails. here's a tip. Keep, change, flip.
Okay, so write keep, change,
Visit
flip
numberup.com.
on your page.
Keep.
Okay, write keep, change, flip.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you that it's literally that easy, okay? It's literally that easy, just keep, change, flip. Okay, so we're gonna put an example of, several different examples in your composition book, okay? And then we'll go to your whiteboard. So we'll be in your composition book first, and then we'll go to your whiteboard. So again, write keep, okay, okay, write keep, change, flip. Okay, it's literally that easy. Okay, so let's start with, we're gonna start with a whole number divided by a fraction. So this is your first example, 8 divided by 2/5. Okay, so that's gonna be our first example. And then you literally do it every time. You keep. So if we keep 8 and 8, it's just 8/1. We change this to multiplication. We flip this to 5/2. You keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Now, we just have a multiplication problem, which we have done a ton of these now. You can cancel the 2 and the 8. So how are the 2 and the 8 gonna cancel, Sarah Grace?
The 2 and the 8, they, 2 goes into 8 4 times. And that changes to 1.
Yes. So all we have left is 4 times 5. So what is 8 divided by 2/5, Giancarlo?
Sorry?
So what's our answer?
Oh, 20.
20. 4 times 5. Okay? Literally, all you have to do is keep, change, flip. Okay, so we did a whole number divided by a fraction. Now let's put an example of a fraction divided by a fraction. So we're gonna do 3/5 divided by 3/10. We're gonna put an example of everything you might see. So again, we're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and we're gonna flip. Okay, same thing every time. Keep, change, flip. Now we can cancel because the 3's are gonna cancel. The 5 and 10 are gonna cancel also. And so how is this gonna cancel, Emerson?
You would cancel 3 and 3, and so it would be 1.
Uh-huh.
And then 5 times 10, so 5 would be 1. And
Just a
10
second. Whoever's doing that, please stop. Emerson, the 5 becomes a 1 and the 10 becomes a,
2.
got it. And all we have left is 2 times 1. So it's 2. Okay, so we've done a whole number divided by a fraction. We've done a fraction divided by a fraction. Okay, here's something else you might see. You might see a fraction divided by a whole number. So let's look at what that would look like. So we're gonna do 6/7. And we're gonna divide by 9. Okay, 6/7 divided by 9.
Can we just switch them around?
So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and we're gonna flip. So what happens to 9 when we flip it? Remember we talked about that a minute ago. What would be the reciprocal of 9, or what would that be flipped, Ellen?
1/9.
1/9.
Yep. 1/9.
Okay, the 6 and the 9 can cancel because 3 goes into both of those numbers. Okay, so how many times would 3 go into those two? Kira?
If 9 would change to 3, and the 6 would change to 2.
Got it. And then all we do is multiply what's left. So we're gonna have a fraction answer. And so, Hunter, what would we get? We would get 2/21. Yes. Okay?
Would you divide that? Divide that by? No.
The answer is 2/21.
In the video, they're like keep, change, flip, and then they divided it after.
That's if you have an improper fraction at the end. You don't have one here. Okay, let's do 5 1/4. So we're gonna do a mixed number, and we're gonna divide by a fraction. So we're gonna do 5 1/4 divided by 3/8. Okay, we're gonna keep 5 1/4, but we have to change it so that we can use it. Okay, you know we have to have an improper fraction in order to do any multiplication. So what would we get when we fix 5 1/4 so that we can use it? Kira? We change it to 21/4. Okay, so we keep, we change, and we flip. Okay, and you're able to cancel both ways here because the 4 and the 8 cancel, and the 3 and the 21 cancel. Everything's gonna cancel. So what would we get here, Ellen?
So the 7, like the 21 will become a 7, and then the 3 will become a 1, the 8 will become a 2, and then the 4 will become a 1.
Got it. And all we have left is 7 times 2. 14th.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
then there's one more thing you can see, and I'm gonna tell you ahead of time, so hopefully you won't do it. But this is the biggest, if I see a mistake when you're doing dividing with fractions and mixed numbers, this is it, and I'm gonna show you what it is. All right, so here's our last example, 5 1/4. And we're gonna divide by 2 1/3. Okay, this is the same first fraction as we had the last problem. So we already know that that is 21/4. Okay, so we're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and this is where a lot of times I see a mistake. You've gotta change that to improper, but then you have to do what?
Flip it.
Flip it. You've gotta keep, change, and that's gotta be flipped. So we need that changed to an improper fraction, but then we need it flipped. So what would that be flipped? Again, that's why, because when you change it to improper, you forget, oh, I've still gotta flip it, and that's one of the biggest mistakes. So, Giancarlo, what do you get when you flip this?
3/7.
3/7. Okay, and we can cancel on this problem, because the 21 and the 7 will cancel. Okay, the 21 and the 7 will cancel. So Hunter, what do we get when we cancel here?
You cancel there, you get 21 at 30 and 7 at 1.
Got it. We multiply and we get 9/4. Okay, so we can't leave it that way. And several people on the quiz that y'all took before we left for Thanksgiving forgot to change. Remember, if it's that, you can't leave it. We know that before it goes into 8, evenly, but it does not go into 9 evenly. And so, Brock, what would we get when we change that?
We'll get 2 1/4.
We would get 2 1/4. Okay, so now let's go to your whiteboard and we'll try some of all of these different things. But all you have to remember is keep, change, flip. Okay, and after watching that, it's like sticks in your head. It's super easy to remember. So you always do the same thing. Keep, change, flip. Okay, so let's go back to, let's do a whole number divided by a fraction. Okay, so a whole number divided by a fraction. So let's do 6 divided by 3/5. Okay, 6 divided by 3/5. So we're gonna have 6, keep, change, and then flip. And the 3 and the 6 are going to cancel. So what happens with the 3 and the 6? Kira? Yes, this is gonna become a 2, this would become a 1. And so we just multiply what's left, and what would we get, Hunter? We would get 10. All we have left on top is a 2 and a 5, and all we have left on bottom is 1. Okay, so let's do another whole number by a fraction. So let's do 9 divided by 3/7. So we'll have 9, keep, change, flip. And the 9 and the 3 would cancel. Okay, so keep, change, flip. Emerson, what happens when the 9 and 3 cancel?
So 3 will become a 1 and 9 will become a 3.
Right.
3 can go to bed, and then you multiply, so it would be 21.
Got it, 21 is our answer. All we have left is 3 times 7. Okay, so we did whole number divided by fraction, so let's do a couple of fraction divided by fraction. Same thing, you're gonna keep, change, flip. So let's do 1/4 divided by 1/12. Okay, so we're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and we're gonna flip. Okay, and we're gonna be able to cancel the 12 and the 4. Okay, so what happens when we cancel the 12 and the 4? Hattie?
12 and then 4 can go into 12, so that'll be 1, and then 12 can, if 4 can go into 12, will be 3. Can I say the answer? The answer would be 3.
Got it, the answer's 3. The 4 becomes a 1, the 12 becomes a 3, and all we have left is 3 times 1, which is 3. All right, so we've done a couple of fractions, and actually we just did one, so let's do one more fraction divided by fraction. Let's do 2/3 divided by 3/4. Okay, so we're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and we're going to flip. Okay, in this problem, we have something that happens sometimes. We can't cancel anything, so we just multiply. Okay, we can't cancel, so we just multiply. And that does happen sometimes. Ellen, what'd you get?
8 over 9.
8/9. fraction divided by a whole number. Okay, fraction divided by a whole number. So let's do 5/8. And we want to divide that by 40. Okay, 5/8 divided by 40. So we're going to keep, we're going to change, and what is 40 going to be when we flip it? Hunter? 1/40. Okay, the 40 and the 5 can cancel. Okay, the 40 and the 5 can cancel. And so what would we get? We're going to get a fraction answer here. Sarah Grace.
You get 164.
Got it. This becomes a 1, this becomes an 8, and all we have left is 1 times 1 up here, and 8 times 8 down here, so we would get 164. Okay, let's do another fraction divided by a whole number. Let's do 2/3 divided by 50. Okay, so we're gonna do keep, we're gonna change, and we're going to flip, and of course that would be 1/50th. Okay, the 50 and the 2 we're gonna cancel. If you know how many quarters make 50 cents, then you know how to cancel 2 and 50. And so we multiply what we have left. So what would we get, Sarah Grace?
175.
This becomes a 1, this becomes a 25, and all we have left is 1/75. All right, let's do mixed number. So mixed number first, but not second yet. So just a mixed number for the first one. So we're gonna do 3 1/7. Okay, and we're gonna divide by 2/7. Okay, so first we need to fix the 3 1/7. So what would we get when we fix that so that we can use it, Patty? 22/7. Okay, then we change, then we flip, and we're gonna be able to cancel the 7 and the 7, and the 2 and the 22. Okay, we'll be able to cancel both ways. And so, Kira, what'd you get? Say it one more time.
12.
Not 12. You're close. You're super close. If this had been a 24, it would have been 12. Hunter? 11, yes. 1, 1, 1, 11. All we have left is 11 times 1. Okay, let's do another mixed divided by a fraction.
If you divide a whole number fraction or fraction whole number, it's the same thing, right? Just swapping it?
No, because if you have a whole number first, it's going to be something over 1. If you have it second, it's going to be 1 over that number because you're going to flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in multiplication?
In multiplication, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right? Because like in multiplication, it doesn't matter if you say 2 times 3 or 3 times 2, but it does matter in division. You can't, 10 divided by 5
Because
is
you
not
have
the
to
same thing
flip
as
it.
5 divided by 10. It can't
Okay.
be the opposite, right? Okay, let's do 3 7/8. Okay, and this, be careful on this one. So you gotta multiply 8 times 3 and then add 7 to it. So we're gonna do 3 7/8 divided by 3/8. Nathan, put your iPad up, please. All right, 3 7/8. What are you doing? Are you doing your thing on there?
No.
Wait, what are you doing right now?
I was doing.
Okay, let's put your iPad up. All right, so let's switch 3 7/8 to a mixed number. I mean, improper fraction. Excuse me. It is a mixed number. Change that to an improper fraction. Ivy, what'd you get?
31 over 3?
31 over
8.
yes. Okay, so we're gonna keep, we're gonna change, and we're gonna flip. Okay, on this one, the 8s will go away. Okay, the 8s will go away. But we will still have 31/3. Okay, we know 3 goes into 30, but it doesn't go into 31. So we know we're gonna have a mixed number answer. And so what would we get, Ellen? 10 1/3.
Yes.
10 1/3. Okay, and then let's do 2 mixed numbers. And again, this is the one that you can easily get mixed up on because you forget to flip the second one. So just always remember, if you've got 2 mixed, you've got to flip that second one. Okay, so let's do 6 2/3. And we want to divide by 1 1/4. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is switch the 6 2/3 to an improper fraction. Brock?
23rds.
20 thirds. Okay, then we change. And remember, we have to get the improper fraction for 1/1/4, but then it still needs to be flipped. And so here, what would we get?
5 fourths.
And then it needs to be flipped.
Oh, 4 fourths.
Yes. Okay, so we've got to flip. All right, the 20 and the 5 will cancel. Okay, the 20 and the 5 will cancel. Okay, but we'll still end up with 16 thirds.
I got it.
Okay, we know 3 goes into 15, but it doesn't go into 16. And so, Hunter, what would we get?
5 1/3.
5 and 1/3. Okay, let's